All right, guys. Good morning. Good morning to you. It is Monday, September 14th, 2020, and this morning's message is going to be finish strong. Yesterday in church, I had a phenomenal message delivered to me, and I wanted to share that with you guys this morning. So this morning's message, finish strong. Let's get started.
It is ultimately important for you to look at your goals, truly what you want to do in your life, and then look at the people who you spend the most time with in your life and figure out if that lines up.
All right. Good morning, everybody. So, want to jump right in here this morning. This morning's message is going to be based around something that I actually listened to in church yesterday. We had a guest pastor in from out of town, and his message was around the concept of, I think the title of it was The Heart of a Finisher. And I thought, man, what a better way to kick off a Monday morning than to talk about that type of topic. I've actually got a clip from that message yesterday that I'm going to show you guys. But I want you guys to think about this. It's September 14th. There's 109 days left in 2020. And what happens when we get to this point in the year is that I like to call this separation season, right? Where, those people who are really have trained themselves, who are disciplined to be able to produce at a higher level, they really separate themselves big time from the rest of the pack because they're able to stay focused through difficult times. They're able to take the adversity and use it as fuel. They're able to convert those difficult conversations into ones that launch them. No idea why my computer continues to just randomly mute itself, but it does that. So again, difficult situations, we just keep on moving. So I wanted to share with you guys this video this morning. And this is, you'll see this is a video. For those of you who have seen the movie Secretariat, you will recognize this video probably, or at least you'll recognize the concept of this. So let me tee this up for you, excuse me. And I hope you guys enjoy this video as much as I did yesterday.
To ask you and I to finish strong, and I want you to watch this horse race.
Ready to go for this tremendous Belmont Stakes. Everybody's in line, and they're off. Looks like the early lead goes to Mike Allen. Yes, Mike Allen going for the lead with Price of Prince on the outside. Secretariat away very well, has good position on the rail, and in fact is now going up with the leader. They're moving for the first turn. It is Secretariat. Sham on the outside is also moving along strongly, and now it's Sham. Sham and Secretariat are right together into the first turn. Mike Allen has third behind them. Then it's Price of Prince, and the trailer is Private Smiles as they go by the turn. Those two together, Sham on the outside. Sham getting ahead in front as they move around the turn with Secretariat second. Then there's a large gap, making 8 lengths back to Mike Allen in third and Price of Prince fourth. And Private Smiles is still the trailer. They're on the backstretch. It's almost a match race now. Secretariat's on the inside, by ahead. Sham is on the outside. They've opened 10 lengths on Mike Allen, who is third by ahead, with Price of Prince fourth. Then it's another 8 lengths back to Private Smiles, who is trailing the field. They continue down the backstretch, and that Secretariat now taking the lead. He's got it by about a length and a half. Still Sham, 10 lengths back, Mike Allen, Price of Prince. They're moving on the turn now. For the turn in the Secretariat, it looks like he's opening. The lead is increasing. They get 3.5. He's moving into the turn. Secretariat holding on to a large lead. Sham is second, and then it's a long way back to Mike Allen and Price of Prince. They're on the turn. Secretariat is racing along. The first 3/4 of a mile in 109 4/5. Secretariat is rising now. He is moving like a tremendous machine. Secretariat by It looks like they'll catch him today. And My Gallon is right to center. Both coming up to him now. The second round is all alone. He's out there almost a half of a mile away from the rest of the horsemen. Secretariat is going to get a position to finish this battle over here. He's into the stretch. Secretariat leads his field by 8 feet away. And now Chrysler brings it over to second. My Gallon is moving back to third. And in the stretch, Secretariat is also the 22-point lead. He is going to be the Triple Crown winner. Here comes Secretariat to the wire. Unbelievable. He has a big 25 lengths to the front. It's going to be Chrysler for second.
What you just watched was the horse Secretariat. How many ever watched that movie by Disney, Secretariat? This horse overcame a lot of things. First Triple Crown winner in 25 years, 1973. Won the Derby, set a record for time there. Won the Preakness, and then run the Belmont. He was called affectionately Big Red. He was a chestnut. He was beautiful. And the horse that was closest to him in these three races was a horse called Sham. Sham had a trainer and some people that were very loud with what they said about their horse. And you're always going to have a sham, somebody trying to keep you from winning big. I want to the reason I showed that today is because I wanted you to understand the heart of finishing, and not just finishing barely, but putting a beat down. How many knows that was a beat down? The announcer had to apologize because he had it wrong. It wasn't 25 lengths, it was 31 lengths. And as Ronnie Turcotte, the jockey, came to the finish line, they got a picture of him looking back, seeing how far back everybody is. I wonder what went in his mind when he looked back and saw them 31 lengths back. I wonder what he thought. I wonder what the devil's going to think when he sees you looking back at him as you finish your life strong, as your family finishes strong, as the church rises up in the last days. And I wonder what the devil, the shame and the sham of the devil's going to think when we look back and go, you lousy liar. He lived 16 more years. He was owned by the Cheney family out of Virginia. And there's a story to it if you saw the movie. I would encourage you to watch the movie. But he died at 19 years of age. And he died October the 4th, 1989. For whatever reason, the family wanted to have an autopsy on a horse. Now, I'm not by no means comparing you to a horse. That was God's creation. That's a horse. You're God's sons and daughters. There's a big difference. Amen. But I want to tell you something. They did an autopsy, and the lead vet that was on the autopsy, when they began to grow into the chest cavity, they said he stopped and he goes, oh my God. He looked around, he looked at the other people assisting him and said, I've never seen anything like this. The average heart of a thoroughbred weighs 8 to 8.5 pounds. I could hold it in both hands. Secretariat's heart weighed 22 pounds. Secretariat's heart was 2.5 to 2 2/3 larger than the average horse. And there was no abnormalities. There was no problems. There was nothing wrong. The valves were perfect. Both sides of the heart were perfect. Everything was perfect. And the reason he could run like he run is no one knew how big his heart was. The reason when you get to the Belmont and all trainers would back their horses off, that's the longest race in the Triple Crown, is because they worried about their endurance. These people worked out Secretariat even harder. When you think it's harder in these days God has you, there's a great finish ahead for you where you can look back and say, well, devil, you're not only defeated, but I thumped you pretty good today. I want to encourage you as I leave today that the heart on the inside of you is way bigger than you realize. The capacity on the inside of you to love and live and believe God is way larger because of Jesus Christ. I won't leave here saying you have a horse's heart, but I'll say you have the heart of a finisher of Jesus Christ. And I want to encourage you individually as a church that as we move forward, you're going to see opportunity to win in capacity more than you've ever seen in your life. Trust God, trust in faith, focus on what he has you to do. Don't be distracted. Get your fight on and let's finish and let's have a beat down and let's look back and see how far behind all those other things were. Amen. Would you pray?
So hopefully that had as big of an impact on you as it did on me yesterday.
All right. Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, August 26, 2020. This morning.
Sorry about that. The YouTube video continued to play there. But at any rate, I hope that had as big of an impact on you guys as it did on me yesterday. Listen, everybody's going to face challenges and fights and things in their life that they have to deal with, right? And one of the things that I walked away with yesterday, one of the messages from Pastor Pat Butcher, who you just listened to there, one of the things that he said during that message was, whatever we value, we will fight for. And so I ask you guys, from now until the end of the year, 109 days you have to make 2020 the very best that you possibly can. And I ask you to fight for what you value, for everything that you value, whether that's your family, your business, your children, your marriage, whatever it is. Just trust God, always put God first, and trust that the path that you are on is the exact path you're supposed to be on right at this moment. And every single thing that we encounter in life will teach us something. And the message that he finished with there, that we all have a much bigger heart on the inside than what sometimes we are aware of. I would encourage you to think about that this week. As you go into this week and you face the challenges that are guaranteed to happen to you, think about that. Think about, how do you win in the face of challenge? And how you win is by fighting for what you value, fighting for what you love, and fighting for what you stand for. So I will leave you with that as we go into this Monday. I appreciate all of you guys being here. Hopefully that video had an impact on you and will help you start your week just a little bit better. So with that said, wishing you guys an amazing week. I will see you again tomorrow morning, same place, same time, 7:30 a.m. right here on Morning Perspective. Love you guys.